Hello, YouTube friends. Today I wanted to try something a little different. One of the most frequent things that I hear feedback on my videos is that my voice is very calming and very ASMR like. And for a while, I wasn't making very many videos because it takes a lot of mental energy to kind of put on a personality and make that facade really be, you know, very energetic for YouTube. So I thought I'd try a little experiment here where we watch a time lapse of me doing a drawing and I talk about that. And we really hone in on this thing that we all love so much called ASMR. I know I love it. I like to fall asleep to it sometimes. And I'm going to try to be real relaxing for you. So hopefully you can just sit back, relax, watch this really sped up version video of me drawing. And I'm not going to edit this because I don't really think I want to. So we're just going to keep any mistakes that I might make as we talk. And that's just going to be part of it. We're in this together. So the first thing you're going to notice here is that I was kind of flipping through some quick sketches that I had made in preparation for this. And I didn't happen to record those because I wasn't really thinking about it. It was kind of on the fly. But what I really wanted to talk to you about today was adding detail and more information to a rough kind of perspective sketch of a room. So my rough sketch there doesn't have a lot of detail or information. It's mostly just the walls and the floors and the windows and kind of a general layout of where things would go. But with this overlay, I lowered the transparency and then I brought a new layer on top. And then I just wanted to really fill the room with relevant detail, storytelling detail that would help drive the story of the background and hopefully give the viewer kind of a glimpse into the kind of person that would live in this background. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about today was the idea that I've been thinking about a lot, which is, the idea of relevant detail and not detail for detail's sake, but detail that drives the story and that exists for a reason within this background. For instance, just this last weekend, I was at Lightbox and I reviewed a lot of portfolios, student portfolios, and a ton of great work. But one of the most common notes I gave out, and it's also one of the most common notes that I got when I was a student shopping around my portfolio, was that, your painting is good. You're doing a good job painting, but you're not really saying anything or communicating an emotion or a story to me with your painting. And that can be really hard to do when you're a student because you're grappling with so much. You're dealing with perspective, color, lighting, all of these things you're trying to just wrap your head around. And then to add, this amorphous thing called story and detail and purpose and meaning onto that, I found that those kind of things ended up coming after I got a little bit more of the technical skill under my belt. But I certainly know people that they came right out of the bat with, just really strong storytelling abilities, and then the technical abilities followed suit. So you have to follow whatever's best for you. But anyway, let's get back to it. Relevant detail, I think it's something that can really push a painting to the next level. So for this painting, and I do this for a lot of paintings, I'll even do it like halfway through a design. I'll put a 50% overlay onto whatever I'm designing and just go in and redesign a lot of the props. And I'm designing them with the focus of staying within that world and not adding anything that doesn't need to be there. If it's not driving the story, I try not to add it. And for a drawing like this, my whole goal was just to fill this room. I wanted a really cluttered space where it felt like someone used this space to do a lot of weird stuff, maybe like witchy stuff. I kind of wanted to leave that open to interpretation, but I wanted to give the vibe that this was a room that was constantly in use by someone. And I did that with just trying to ask myself questions, and so a really great exercise for when you're trying to think of relevant details, because I know when I was a student I had a hard time thinking of, well, if I'm supposed to tell a message or tell a story, what do I put in there? What kind of things do I do? That kind of seems so weirdly challenging. And one of the ways that I had found to be helpful is that I'll stop with the painting or the drawing, and I'll do it before I start drawing or painting or any time throughout the process. And I'll open up any kind of typing document and I'll just type questions, stream of consciousness questions that about my background, like who lives here, why is the floor made of bricks, what kind of plants would be here, why are there so many plants, is this person a witch, does this person do magic, does this person take care of their personal belongings, was this the kind of person that would drink tea, where is this in the world, where is this in the southern hemisphere, the northern hemisphere, what's going on, is this in another country, is this in another time, do they have a pet, do they have multiple pets, are they a botanist, and you're just asking all of these random, almost meaningless questions that I don't really need the answer to, but I think the act of asking just so many questions quick fire, you're kind of answering them in your head as you ask, and you're learning about this environment that you're creating. And so you're basically creating this little abstract version of this world that when you translate these questions into visual imagery, it invites a viewer to be like, wow. They look at it and they might see the first read is like, oh, this is a really pretty drawing, or this is a really pretty painting with nice lines and colors. And then they look at it again and they're like, you know what? It kind of is really interesting. Who's living here? What's going on here? And they're like, oh, I see. That's really interesting. I have one of those in my house. And it invites them to explore the space further. And I like to think of that as managing my reads. So I think a lot of people know about first read, second read, and I am a really big fan of the third read. And the third read is where all of this kind of storytelling detail comes into place. Because I don't think it should be the first thing that someone notices. I think the first thing they should notice is the overall read, the big impression of what's happening. But then as they look and they delve deeper and they start to investigate it, if they start to investigate it, they'll start to question the background themselves, and they'll be like, wow, who does live here? You know, there's no characters here. And maybe you want to draw a character. I personally don't like drawing characters. It seems like a lot of effort. And I find that that's been really helpful for my work, because it invites people to stay and explore within the work. And so maybe those couple of little thoughts and exercises would be helpful to you. And let me know if you enjoyed this kind of soft-spoken ASMR type little tutorial. You know, these are a little bit more manageable for me to make than trying to film myself and be all uppity, not uppity, but you know, be like up in energy. This is like more natural for me to just talk into a microphone with my very calm and, you know, whatever voice. So that's this, guys and girls, and anything else. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this, and let me know if you liked the kind of different way this has been done, and maybe I can make some more like that. Or if you hated it, let me know too. You know, I really don't care, but I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. If you drink coffee, go have a cup of coffee. I'm on my second cup, and I have a little sip right now. You can join me. Take a deep breath, and let's sip our coffee.